so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good morning. I would like to welcome you on behalf of the graduating class of 2017. There are a number of dignitaries here today for NCSSM's 36th commencement, whom I would like to briefly introduce. Please hold your applause until all have been recognized. NCSSM Chancellor Todd Roberts, Commencement Speaker Damon Tweedy, Chair, NCSSM Board of Trustees, Tom Williams, UNC Board of Governors member, Madeline Finnegan, Vice Chancellor for Academic Programs, Katie O'Connor, Dean of Science, Amy Scheck, Director of Admissions, Latita Mason, NCSSM Executive Director Emeritus, John Frederick, former NCSSM Chancellor, Jerry Borman, Board of Trustees members, Maya Ajamera, Paula Benson, Steve Griffin, Hugh Holston, Colin Larson, Paige Ives Lamel, Bobby Maynard. Foundation Board members, Brad Ives, Charlie Stone. Division Administrators, Robert Allen, Katie Wagstaff, Brock Winslow. Legal Counsel, Michael Delafield. Registrar, Kathleen Allen. Director of the Library, Robin Boltz. Director of Institutional Research, Jeff Coltrane. Director of Distance Education, Kendall Hagerman. Director of Athletics, Greg Jarvis. Director of Mentorship and Research, Sarah Shoemaker. Dean of Counseling, Lori Hackney. Academic Deans, Jamie Lathan, Joe Labuglio, Elizabeth Moose, Denita Robinson. Faculty Senate President, Ashton Powell. Staff Council President, Crystal Woods. Alumni Board President, Stephen Norton. Parent Association Chair, Jane Tarecki.
Well, good morning again. Welcome to all of our families and friends, faculty, staff, students, members of the Board of Trustees, Board of Governors, Alumni Board, Foundation Board, Parent Association, and Dr. Tweedy, honored guests, and most importantly, members of the class of 2017, welcome. Before we continue, I'd like to take just a moment to recognize all the members of our facilities team here at NCSSM for transforming this beautiful lawn for today's commencement ceremony. And to all of our faculty and staff who've worked so hard to plan today's event, preparing today to make today special for all of you is a monumental task, and we thank you so much for your work. I'd also like to thank Dr. Tweedy for being here to speak with us today. His experiences should inspire each of you sitting here about to begin the next chapter in your lives and all of us as we think about our role in helping make communities places that encourage each member to thrive as who they are to achieve their dreams. Thank you again, Dr. Tweedy, for being with us today, and we look forward to your words of inspiration. What a beautiful morning. After a wet, wet week, the rain clouds have parted, thankfully, and made way for the gorgeous morning that the class of 2017 deserves. Graduates, today is the bookend of your NCSSM experience, as it is for me. I think back to the excitement and great pleasure we have welcoming you on move-in day. And today, I have the great honor of giving you your diploma and the bittersweet experience of wishing you well and saying goodbye for now. Parents and families, I know you're filled with great pride today, as you should be. I want to take this time to thank you for sharing your son or daughter, sister or brother with us over these past 2 years. And graduates, we are here today with a feeling of great pride. I know our faculty and staff are proud to have had the opportunity to get to know you and work with you over these past 2 years, and it's been a truly great honor and pleasure for me. Students, graduating from high school marks one of the major milestones in your young lives, and I hope you have or will take a little time to reflect back 2 short years ago when you decided to attend NCSSM. This was a bold decision. Each of you was a new member of this class, 350 strong, from 70 counties across North Carolina. Most of you knew very few of your classmates at that time. And here we are today, 2 years later. Think of all you've done and all you've accomplished and how you've grown and how our community has grown with you. Each of you has your reasons that you made the decision to attend NCSSM. I was talking with the NCSSM alumna earlier this year, and we were talking about why she decided to attend NCSSM and what attending the school meant to her. In that conversation, she mentioned that for her, it was the challenge of the unknown. Wanting to know what was next and what she did not know, she, like you, had done about all she could and exhausted the challenges at her home high school. She was at the top of her class, but that was not enough for her. She wanted the next and greater challenge. That's not everybody. For many, they know success, and that's enough. Those people are not you. Each of you knew great success, yet chose to accept the challenge of the unknown, to accept the greater challenge. Class of 2017, you accepted this challenge, and you have added not only to your success over these past 2 years, but to who you are and who you will be. Today is a time to celebrate your achievement and accomplishments thus far, whether the accomplishments were in the classroom, in academic competitions, in research and athletics, or serving the community and helping others. The class of 2017 has accomplished much, and you've left a lasting legacy at NCSSM. Honors at major competitions, so many in fact that it took us 172 slides a couple of days ago to recognize all of you. Outstanding performances on the field and court, including state and conference championships, doing more than 27,000 hours of community service, and earning more than $15 million in scholarship offers. This is certainly not an exhaustive list of all you've achieved, because while accomplishments are often recognized with medals, trophies, and records, it's not those things that you will take with you wherever you go. It is what you've done and those things that you have learned. It is who you are that you will carry with you to the many new places you'll go. Things such as your caring for, collaborating with, and supporting each other, your ability to struggle and fight through challenges. In particular, I've been so impressed by this class's willingness to think about what you can do to better our community and the experience of each member. In a world today where many seem more focused on what about me, you've been focused on what about us. So as you reflect back now at the end of this part of your NCSSM journey, you may have realized all that you had imagined and hoped you would when you made the decision to attend. Maybe you have not. I suspect that, as the alumni I was speaking to told me, in the years ahead you will come to appreciate things about your time at NCSSM from a perspective that only years and experience can bring. The one thing I can be certain of, having spoken with many alumni from the earliest classes to the most recent, is that you will appreciate and cherish the relationships you've made with each other. When people ask me what's special about NCSSM, one of the things I always mention is the campus community. The NCSSM community is a place you help create, a place where you feel you belong, a place where you make others feel they belong, and a place where you all collectively make each other better than you might have been on your own. As you leave NCSSM, I encourage you to take this spirit, this way of being with you, and please share with others. There's a lot of what you need, a lot of what you have that's needed wherever you'll go. Each graduate here today owes a great deal not only to your classmates, but to the many others who are here with you celebrating your accomplishment. And I'd like to take a minute to recognize those who've helped you along the way. To the parents, guardians, family members, friends who've nurtured and supported these graduates, thank you for the love and support you've shown them and helped them get here today. I know it's not easy to let your son or daughter leave home to go to school, in some cases several hours away, but I know you're so proud of them today. Thank you. To the teachers, counselors, administrators, and staff who've contributed in so many different ways to the success of each graduate here today, thank you for your work and your caring. Along with the student support of one another, it is your talent as teachers and staff members, your mentorship, your hard work, and your support and caring that helps create the living and learning environment where our students can grow and thrive. So thank you. Finally, I want to take this opportunity to recognize members of the NCSSM faculty and staff who are retiring this year. These individuals have been so important to NCSSM for many years. They've given collectively 168 years of service to the NCSSM community. So please join me in thanking and congratulating Barbara Alston, Connie Boyce, Tom Clayton, Julie Graves, Myra Halpin, Kathy Jackson, and Rosemary Monroe. I want to thank you for all you've done to help shape NCSSM and positively impact the lives of so many over the years. You will be greatly missed. And I just want to take a moment here to give special appreciation to one of these retirees, because he's been the key player in helping organize and make sure commencement ceremonies like today and those over the past nearly 20 years have all been well organized and special events for thousands of graduates and families just like you. I'd like to invite Tom Clayton to come up and receive an NCSSM diploma cover with a special note, so that next year and in years to come, he can reflect on his role in making the last Saturday in May special for so many at NCSSM. So Mr. Clayton, where are you? Truly, this day would not be what it is without his efforts. So again, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you all to this gorgeous morning as we celebrate the class of 2017, including all of our family and friends from across the country and world watching on our live stream feed. This is a great day. So at this time, I'd like to introduce our Board of Governors representative to give the Board of Governors Excellence in Teaching Award. At this time, I'm welcoming to the podium Madeline Finnegan to bring greetings from the UNC Board of Governors and recognize our recipient for the award in Excellence in Teaching, for Excellence in Teaching. This is a very special this year because this is the first time NCSSM has had one of our own do this honor. Madeline is an NCSSM alum in the class of 2014 and has just completed her tenure as the president of the UNC Systems Association of Student Governments. Thank you so much, Madeline, for being with us here today.
Thank you, and good morning. Here, I'm going to adjust this a little bit, sorry. Today I bring greetings from the UNC Board of Governors, the governing body of the University of North Carolina system. This past year, as Chancellor Roberts mentioned, I had the great privilege of serving as the student member of the board, representing all students across the UNC system, including all of you at NCSSM. To the distinguished faculty, staff, alumni, and Board of Trustees of Science and Math, to Chancellor Roberts and the Platform Party, and most of all to today's graduates and their families, congratulations and welcome. To the class of 2017, I know how challenging it was to get to this point. You've made your families proud, you've made your communities proud, and I feel especially proud to be a part of today's celebration. I was sitting in your seats 3 years ago as a member of the class of 2014. I valiantly attempted the 72-hour challenge, and I failed on night one. I made the mad dash to Elmo's at 6 a.m. the morning of graduation with the girls at Third Bell, and I was a mixture, Third Bell, and I was a mixture of nervous, excited, and simply exhausted as I donned my robe and I took my seat where you are now. I knew that this experience and this community, forged by Amstud, Happy Half, the Fourth West Mixer, and 6 challenging trimesters, was special. I just want to make sure you are all awake. But here's what I will tell you. There are few joys more special than watching your friends and peers succeed and accomplish things in the years following graduation, as hard as it is to part ways right now. I hope you and your families and loved ones cherish how important today is and how meaningful it'll be to walk across this stage. Today is about you as graduates, but we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge some of the people here at NCSSM that helped guide you through these 2 years and to thank them. None of us would be here this morning, I certainly would not, without the dedication of the faculty and staff here at NCSSM. We had the privilege of learning and living alongside some of the most talented teachers in North Carolina, and I want to take a moment to celebrate their work. The Board of Governors Award for Excellence in Teaching is given each year to one faculty member at every UNC institution. The award is intended to highlight the value of excellent teaching and mentorship. This year's recipient from NCSSM, nominated by his peers and carefully selected by the Board of Governors, is Mr. Robert Gottwals. Could I have Chancellor Roberts and Mr. Gottwals please step forward? A talented educator, computational scientist, naval officer, Braille instructor, and American Sign Language interpreter and teacher, Mr. Gottwals represents the best of this institution's interdisciplinary approach to education. A teacher of chemistry, computational science, and research, he brings an intense work ethic and a wealth of experience, both to residential students here at NCSSM and online students across North Carolina. Over the past decade, Mr. Gottwals has developed the most comprehensive high school program in computational sciences anywhere in the country, with courses that include computational chemistry, bioinformatics, medicinal chemistry, and research. Simply put, thousands of North Carolina students have had the chance to study these advanced subjects because Mr. Gottwals has invested time and energy to create these opportunities. It's an incredible legacy for NCSSM and for the state. Thanks to Mr. Gottwals, students at NCSSM have the chance to work in professional laboratory settings, including the Jackson Laboratory, an NIH-funded mouse genomics research lab, the Jakubikova Computational Chemistry Lab at NC State, the Pittsburgh Supercomputing Center, and the Extreme Science and Engineering Discovery Environment. Years of valuable collaboration with colleagues all over the country have allowed Mr. Gottwals to create an unparalleled network of opportunity for his students. In his teaching, Mr. Gottwals challenges students to explore scientific problems from a mathematical and computer science perspective. He helps students master the same research-grade computing tools and modeling systems used by professional researchers, the kind of experience most students don't get until graduate school. But his impact goes beyond STEM-centric curriculum. Mr. Gottwals has led a mini-term experience hiking the Appalachian Trail, in February, no less. He has taught seminars and mini-term courses in Braille, American Sign Language, and beekeeping. He's NCSSM's official beekeeper and on-call sign language interpreter, as well as an active member of the Faculty Senate and of the school's planning committee for the Western Campus. Additionally, I think some of us alumni and parents may know him best for his continued advice on the NCSSM Parents Facebook page. It's clear that he's willing to contribute to all aspects of the NCSSM experience. Mr. Gottwals, we celebrate your energy, your intellect, and your all-around devotion to this school and its students. In honoring you, we also give thanks to the faculty who teach at NCSSM and throughout the University of North Carolina. I'm going to get my medallion, but we'll congratulate him in a second. Sorry. Congratulations.
Good morning, students, faculty, staff, alumni, families, and friends of NCSSM. On behalf of academic programs, I bring congratulations to the class of 2017. Since we have no class rank or valedictorian, our student speaker at commencement each year is selected from speeches submitted by members of the class. A committee of faculty and staff reviewed all entries to determine which speech most uniquely captured the NCSSM experience. I am pleased to introduce the student speaker for the class of 2017. One of her favorite memories while at NCSSM was her research class in chemistry with Dr. Myra Halpin. Dr. Halpin created an atmosphere that enabled a group of students to become a group of close-knit friends. Dr. Halpin allowed the class to do exploration, conduct their own research, and guided the students to summer research. Other memories for our speaker include taking an engineering CAD/CAM course with Mr. David Bryan, a wide variety of challenging math courses, and Western civilization. She explained how Mrs. Katie Mulder and Mr. John Woodmansee were always passionate about their teaching and how their passion engaged her in learning the material every day. Our student speaker played on the NCSSM tennis team both years. She lives on 2nd Bryan, and simply put, she said the following about her SLI: "I love Jerry Odom." We all do. She participated in speech and debate and started a tutoring program at EK Poe where 10 NCSSM students visit once a week to tutor elementary school students. After a 10-week summer internship at the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences in Research Triangle Park this summer, she will head to Harvard to become a physician scientist. Her mother, father, sister, aunt, uncle, and 2 cousins are with us here today. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to your class 2017 student speaker, Lizzie Yang.
Good morning, class of 2017. Today, as we gather here together with our families and friends, I can't help but recall the pandemonium of move-in day nearly 2 years ago. That August day likewise found us with our families as we waited in a long queue of cars and hauled luggage up to our halls. As I said my goodbyes to my parents and sister and old friends, I did not yet know that a family was waiting for me here as well, to add to the one that I was leaving. My first few weeks at NCSSM, I was rather overwhelmed by the change. New environment, new people, new sports team, newfound freedom. So many clubs to join, so many classes that would make another high school course catalog quite envious. These were courses with an amazing depth and breadth of material in every department, whether it be math or sciences or humanities, with equally amazing teachers. I quickly realized that here I could wholeheartedly pursue my passions through opportunities in research and extracurricular activities and explore subjects I wish I knew more about, or even those I knew nothing about. Before NCSSM, I felt as if my head were bumping up against a ceiling, but I felt finally unconstrained when I arrived here. There was no roof, no limit to what I could explore and accomplish. Of course, this new territory left me feeling unsteady at times as well. I encountered new subjects for which I had to work harder than I ever had before in order to understand and master them. Subjects that were previously easy to me were taught with so much more profundity that I questioned whether I had even scratched the surface of the material. I learned to study differently, to accommodate workloads that battled my eyelids through the deep of the night and into the early morning. Hence, I learned to sleep differently too. But these struggles were integral to our growth here, and they have helped define us. I am so grateful for these 2 years at NCSSM for enabling me to thoroughly challenge myself, expand my world perspective, and develop my identity and independence. But most of all, I am grateful to have shared this experience with all of you, for what defines NCSSM is the people. My peers, hailing from all across the state, with differing interests, backgrounds, and opinions, yet united by a depth of passion for whatever it is we love. We have the loudest hearts and the liveliest of debates, and where else could one find such ardent discussion of the world around us? Among us, we have problem solvers, leaders, and world changers, whether that be through innovation, discoveries in science and math, spreading humanity through art and literature, helping others through service, or the many other endeavors that you have undertaken. Through sports, in classes, in clubs, acquiring and eating food together at an impressive volume and frequency, or just by the chance of being on the same hall, we have forged amongst ourselves some of the deepest connections, unbreakable by distance or time. Indeed, over the past 2 years, those parts of NCSSM once new to me have become close and dear. All of you have made NCSSM more than a school. You have made it a home. We have lived through so much together, from applications, snow days, exams, prom, culture fests, and a certain 2016 election, to the most random late-night discussions, naps, stress, and laughter. From our first convocation as freshly minted unis to commencement as an old family, we have gained the ability to meet any challenge and emerge the better for it. It is imperative that we use this ability going forward to make sure the spirit of enterprise and creativity, curiosity and investigation will be stronger than ever. It is our duty to be active and engaged citizens of our society, advocating for STEM research, for arts and humanities, for respect and understanding of others and their culture and identity, and for what we believe in. Now, our supply of moments together has almost run out. Just a couple of hours left until they all become memory. I thank you for being the best class I could ever be a part of. I thank the teachers for their incredible dedication to helping us grow and thrive. I thank the administrators and staff for making the NCSSM experience possible, and I thank parents and families for being our greatest supporters through it all. This has truly been the greatest adventure yet, and though we part ways today, we are each of us ready for the next adventure. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Joshua Doan, and it's been a great honor for me to serve as your student body president. I'm sad to leave this school, our second home, today. Most of us won't miss that first B on a straight A transcript. But I know how much I will miss the people that Lizzie were talking about, the learning, and the experiences that we've shared here. When I was writing my invitation letter to our commencement speaker, Dr. Damon Tweedy, I was impressed by the exceptional places he's taken his career, now an associate professor at Duke University's School of Medicine. But to me, what stood out the most was how he got there, even though others said he couldn't. In his critically acclaimed book and his articles for the New York Times and other major publications, Dr. Tweedy discusses how the environments he studied in, worked in, and even treated others in blocked his way again and again. He could have easily stopped pursuing a dream some did not think he could pursue. But he now has an MD from Duke University and a JD from Yale University too. To come this far, he had to take big risks and often face uncertainty. When I first arrived at NCSSM, I also had some self-doubt in pursuing newfound interests. Because I met peers so extraordinary at their interests that others said they could never become as good, even if they tried. And when I first met them, I couldn't help but feel the same way. I wondered if I would be able to pursue new interests they were already so extraordinary at. But after hearing their stories starting off, I realized that sometimes they didn't even have talent. All they had were three things: interests, the number of hours they spent on it, and achievable goals. So for the past 2 years, I've been led to new activities by interests, many hours, and achievable goals, even when others were extraordinarily better than me. And many of you have done the same. Dr. Tweedy has put principles like this and others into action to truly overcome huge doubt from others, and at times probably himself. I know his experiences can teach us important lessons to overcome our own barriers to our aspirations. Please welcome Dr. Tweedy.
So first, thanks for that very nice introduction. Good morning, everyone. So first off, I just wanted to say thanks for being invited here today. To probably the best thing about the notoriety I received from writing a book has been the opportunity to meet a lot of interesting people and learn new things that I wouldn't have otherwise. It's especially great to be here this morning because I'm also the product of a STEM magnet high school. I graduated from Eleanor Roosevelt High School in Maryland almost 25 years ago to the day, and I can say with complete confidence that my experience there is one of the main reasons that I'm here before you today. Those 4 years took me from being a kid with limited academic aspirations to someone who has become a medical school professor and a successful author. After high school, I went to the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, in a STEM program there called the Meyerhoff Scholarship. From there, I enrolled at Duke for medical school, spent 3 years at Yale for law school, and then returned to Duke to complete my medical specialty training, and I've been a faculty member at Duke ever since. When I'm introduced, I often feel as if the person they're describing is actually someone else. It's really hard for me to believe that's actually me because I know all of what has come before success. Lots of self-doubt, failed dreams, criticism, and rejection, and some really bad first impressions. So this morning, I want to leave you with 3 points to highlight how I overcame some of these obstacles. I think you'll find these lessons helpful as you move forward with your lives from here. Point number 1, use your past mistakes and failures as motivation to succeed with your future goals. All too often, people do the opposite. Recently, I read a piece about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, where he talked about how his failure to make the NFL as a defensive lineman motivated him that much more with his wrestling and acting careers. My experience is similar, minus all of his muscles and money, of course. So growing up, basketball was my first passion in life. And coming off a very good high school career, I thought I would have similar results in college. But I lacked the self-confidence at that stage in my life to succeed as I should have. My failure there motivated me that much more when I discovered a second passion, writing. I'll have more to say about what that motivation looked like for me in just a minute. So this leads me to point number 2. Dreaming will only get you so far. At some point, you must start doing. Just as you can and should learn from your failures, you should also use criticism and rejection as motivation. So nowadays, I'm introduced as a successful author, but it took me more than 10 years to get my book published. During that time, I tried several ideas: mysteries, science fiction, even romance, which my wife thought was ridiculous. But I couldn't get any traction in the book world. Some literary agents and editors, they'd mail personal letters rejecting my work, while others would send form letters over mail or email, and many others simply never responded. Over the years, though, I collected the rejection letters from those that did respond, and I brought them here today. So take a look. So there are about 350 letters here. So that's a lot of rejection and discouragement. But each time I tried and failed with a project, I got a little closer to reaching my goal. It was like putting together a 5,000-piece puzzle a few at a time. And although I wanted to write a book, I started off writing small things on obscure online sites that don't exist anymore, local newspapers and things of that sort. And each step along the way, I met someone who helped me get to the next stage in the writing process until eventually I'd put together a package that made book publishers take notice. So the journey started with a dream, but it was my willingness to start small and keep fighting that made it a reality. And throughout the tough times, I drew on the motivation from not achieving what I set out to accomplish on the basketball court. Now let's go to point number 3. Be flexible and open to what life brings your way. I'm sure you've all heard the expression, there's only one chance to make a first impression. And while that's true, bad first impressions, which I've had a few times in my life, don't have to stop you from getting back on track or even finding yourself in a better place than you once envisioned. During a summer in college, I did an internship at a government lab in Baltimore where they did surgery on animals to better understand heart disease in humans. On the very first morning, they walked me into the room where they did these surgeries. The lab tech had 4 rats lined up on a table, flat on their backs, under anesthesia. I'd never seen anything like that before, and it took me less than a minute to pass out. So I'm 6'6", so my head is a very long way away from the ground. So the next thing I remember is being placed on a stretcher and being wheeled into an ambulance. So that's probably the very worst first impression you could possibly make. But I begged them to let me return to the lab, and over the next several weeks, they taught me how to do these surgeries. They invited me back the next summer, and I got a great recommendation a few years later for medical school. I also went back and shadowed the doctors who had treated me in the emergency room. And so they taught me all about fainting, and so I looked very smart in medical school when that topic came up in class. Let me give you another example of a bad first impression. So nowadays I'm a psychiatrist, but no one could have foreseen that during medical school, least of all me. All medical students have a required rotation where they work in a psychiatric hospital or clinic. I didn't like my assignment at all. The hospital where I worked had the sickest people, and it seemed impossible to have normal interactions with them. During my final exam, I had to interview a patient at the hospital in front of a psychiatrist, and then after the person went back to their room, discuss my thoughts about the possible diagnosis and treatment for the patient. Well, during the interview, I rarely looked up from my notes. When the patient spoke slowly, I became restless, and I completed his sentences for him. I cut him off several times when he didn't answer my questions directly. Basically, I did everything you shouldn't do as a doctor. So after I finished, the psychiatrist told me, in the nicest way possible, his opinion that I should become a doctor who doesn't work with living people. Yikes. So that's how bad my people skills were at the time. For the rest of the year, I made a serious effort to become better at interviewing people. Years later, while beginning my specialty training to become a heart doctor, I discovered, to my amazement, that what I enjoyed most, and was probably best at in working with people, was connecting with them emotionally. Complete 180. And that's the bread and butter of psychiatry. So I eventually switched into psychiatry and was later recognized as one of the best young doctors in my program. So the points I want to make with these 2 stories is that perseverance can overcome bad first impressions, and that you never know where exactly you're going to end up. Be open to what life presents your way. Finally, I'd like to close by giving you some thoughts on what I see as the bigger picture. We live in a time in a world, we have for a while, where we are constantly bombarded with images and messages that focus on our differences rather than our similarities as people. But no matter what you see and hear, try not to lose sight of our common humanity. My career as a doctor has continuously shown me that our similarities far exceed our differences. When you talk to people who are very sick, and in some instances approaching death, they almost always focus on connections with others, family, friends, and other people who have impacted them throughout their lives. So as you move forward to the next phase of your life, as you will hear many divisive messages, you will also face the constant temptation in our society to use your talents and resources strictly for your own self-interest. But remember our shared humanity. And remember the other 3 lessons that I laid out for you today. Number 1, use past failures as motivation to succeed with future goals. Number 2, dreaming will only get you so far. At some point, you must start doing. Number 3, be open to change based on what life presents you. And with that, I want to thank you all again for having me. Congratulations again to the class of 2017.
We would like to present Dr. Tweedy with a framed original print from our original art teacher, Joe Lyles. It's a representation of NCSSM. So thank you so much again for being with us today.
Thank you. So I'm a bit clumsy, so I'm worried about carrying this. Can you? Thank you.
Chairman Williams, I present to you the class of 2017. Awarding their diplomas signifies that they have all completed the requirements for graduation set forth by the NCSSM Board of Trustees.
Dr. Roberts, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and this school, which serves the people of North Carolina, I accept your recommendation and authorize the presentation of these diplomas to this special class of 2017.
On this special occasion, as we would like to appropriately and respectfully honor all these extraordinary graduates as they accept their diplomas, please hold your applause and any individual display of support, however unique or exuberant, until the last diploma has been presented. Thank you, and so at this time we will award the class of 2017 their diplomas.
Ellis Levi Ackerman. Gabrielle Jacqueline Adams. Hannah Rose Edelman. Anish Agarwal. Akello L. Agingu. Please hold your applause. Alexander Ray Allen. Stephen Andrew Allen. Christopher Castrellon Alvarado. Joshua Jesse Kwabena Ameniampong. Claire Louise Ammon. Samuel Barton Amos. Jonah Thomas Andrews. Omkar Vasant Apte. Janice Ray Arahado. Isaac Nosakiye Asamoda. Ahmad Ekber Oscar. Harper Douglas Atkins. Somia Ava. Bolatito Toluwalashe Babatunde. Leowell Ardley Gira Bakudio. Adithya Balaji. Catherine Alexandra Barnes. Louise Crystal Batta. Anais Nicole Bauer. Kimberly Elizabeth Baxter. Magd Vayumi. Todd Culpepper Bean. Renzo Gaspari Benavides. Christian Ederly Benitez. Catherine Louise Bennett. Carson James Bettinger. Anthony Ray Bishop. Carson Meadows Bakovin. David Connor Borkowski. James Michael Boyd. Kyle Thomas Boyette. Brennan Roger Brote. Catherine Jenna Rozovsky. Jessica Dale Buchanan. Benjamin Thomas Bunzy. Caroline Brooke Carpenter. Christopher Pratt Carter. Ella Hamilton Carter. Michael Thomas Carter. Arturo Antonio Casal. Ella Castillo. Jamie Christine Chamberlain. Mina Nyasha Chanakira. Sion Chand. Alex Yang Chen. Robin Jia. Sherry Chen. Samuel Moonhor Cho. Jason Udoka Chukwu. William Thomas Clark. Anna Margaret Clyburn. Michael James Cooper. Anna Catherine Covington. Thaddeus Houston Creech. Genevieve Christina Kreitz. Stephen Howard Kraus. Jennifer Carlton Dacre. Miguel Bayan Caballes de los Reyes. Chloe Dietz. Angela Dang. Baldef Sandeep Kumar Desai. Christian J. DeSimone. Frank Joseph Delustro. Jelimori N. Jabate. Kent Ryan Hardy Dickerson. Elizabeth Jane Doby. Elizabeth Elikem Dogby. Zachary Lee Dorset. Rachel Vivian Doe. Sion Duta. Tasneem Omar Esuder. Abigail G. Fancher. Jennifer Feng. Charles Nathan Faulkner. Ethan Ignatius Fenwick. Benjamin Noah Furtick. Kira Mercedes Finney. Jonathan Robert Fisher. Isaiah Cacobia Fleming. Denora Francesca Guadarrama Flores. Ivy Elizabeth Floyd. Lucas Benjamin Ford. John Lumpkin Foster IV. Samantha Elizabeth Foster. Kira Lynn Frazier. John Tyler Fussell. Abbott Tobin Gaddy. Hannah Hodges Gahagan. Nathan Hunter Gant. Julia Z. Gao. Raymond Liu Gao. Emma Louise Garval. Hope Alexis Gaddis. Nikhil Gavini. Charles Edward Goodman IV. Sarah Kennan Grade. Liam Stephen Groff. Aaron Page Graham. Matthew Raymond Gregoire. David Webster Griffith. Ginny Gui. Jason Guo. Sahil Gupta. Mukil Mullen Garuparan. Micah Paul Hack. Sydney Jane Hafner. Yessel Hahn. Kelsey Louise Halverson. Casey Alexander Hansen. Anne Lavender Haunton. Benjamin Cole Hawley. Rachel Suzanne Hefner. Emily Lynn Hinch. Darvin Ho. Leslie Hermanagildo Cisneros. Skylar Kojiro Higgins. Sydney May Hilwig. Kalista Nilika. Kenny Tran Hong. Kendall Rose Holloman. Sophia Mikan Holmes. James Hong. Ava Angeline Hauk. Andrew T. Huan. Sophia Han Yu Her. Mara Brooke Hussey. Jenna Kayla Israel. Emily Garnett Ives. Lawton Frederick Ives. Jeremiah Jackson III. Jennifer Marie Jacober. Arihant Jane. Avra Bell Jans. Wyatt Andrew Jernigan. Evan Jang. Jordan Khalil Jones. Cassandra Marie Joins. Dahi Jung. Olivia Maria Kachenchai. Miller Kahehu. Brendan Matthew Kane. Raveen Rajiv Kantasaria. Christopher Samuel Kardawira. Karthik Sridhar Kaundinya. Hannah Y. Kim. Taehi Kim. Vivian Sakura Kirby. Kaylin Jean Kirkaldy. Dareth Alexandria Klibano. Olivia Shaorong Cleason. Sylvia Elena Knappa. Justin Alexander Kobler. Prabhath Kotha. Maximilian Kolbe Kramer. Catherine Hypatia Kushner. Nicholas Ryan Kuzma. Calvin Lee Lane III. Chandler Kristen Lanier. Emily Tao Lee. Emily Ann Leggett. Courtney Ann Lenning. Sarah Lynn Letchworth. Robert Cole Lewis. Dory Lee. Grace Betty Lee. Michael Lee.
Stefan Yitong Lee. Gabriel Zaboa Lima. Claire Yu Liu. Xingho Lloyd Liu. Danielle Anita Locklear. Terry Nicole Lowry. Hakun Liu. Amrita Ashut Malur. Ethan Thomas Manning. Sarah Catherine Moreau. Ariane Elise Michelin Little. Matthew Raymond Mishewski. Francis Latham Massey. Joshua Baker Massey. Charles Moss. Spencer Barnett May. Hannah Lee McGrath. Carson Mark McGuire. Marcus Guy Mefford. Zara N. Mehta. Craig Daniel Messina. Nikhil Miland. Grace Elizabeth Miller. Hagen Ridge Miller. Nolan Ashvan Oranda. Michael Richard Mizak. Emma Louise Morris. Cameron Scott Mosley. Micah Gregory Malarkey. Imrindu Nanda. Aditya Narayanan. Michael J. Neville. Patrick Ian Miller. Peyton Mariah Newfont. Victoria Nguyen. Xian New. Max Gartner Noble. Thomas Robert Norrell. Miriam Chiamaka Okonkwo. Olufemi A. Otoladoyo. Nico Francis Olegario. Christian Abad Ortez Vasquez. Tanasha Nichelle Owens. Namisha Pant. Karit Venkata Punaganti. Shaw Snehal Priyank. Krista Marie Parrish. Jaina Patel. Nandan Vinu Patel. Rohan Patel. Brooke Savannah Patterson. Spencer Maxwell Payne. Haven Noel Penn. Emma Shea Perez Navarro. Sarah Alice Perkins. Daniel Joseph Hezzy. Kinsey Lynn Potter. Brittany Galana Qualls. Jackson Spencer Quigley. Gayatri Raghavendra. Session Ravagundran. Ravagundran. Ishan Dato Rowe. Vanitha Ravindran. Julie Wilton Riolini. Nahil Ravi Reddy. Rohan Reddy. Siagopala R. Reddy. Evan Jeffrey Rhodes. Ramon Anthony Richardson. Michelle Minji Rowe. Lindsay Victoria Ruderman. Rachel J. Ruderman. Skada Kishibata Sastry. Devin Andrew Sawyer. Eric Cyclin. Isaac Benjamin Shore. Nicholas Hall Schwenkel. Kelsey Ray Seats. Rachel Marie Shaughnessy. Hannah Caroline Shaw. Ryan Lacey Shelton. Youngmin Shin. Carrie Sam Schindel. Ari Sholoman. Anamika Singh. Claudia Marie Sisk. Emma Diane Smart. Alyssa Jesselyn Smith. Connor Paul Smith. Jacob Allen Smith. Vivian Mellon Snyder. Francisco Solano. Ira Soltis. Clarissa Grace Summers. Paul Minsub Song. Emery Neil Soper. Tia Nicole Sparks. Amruthanish Swami Sriparambuddha. Rachel Lindsay Starr. Brian Brannon Steed. Taylor Leanne Steele. Jonathan Tyler Stetler. Samuel Ledford Stewart. Jonathan Daniel Sturdivant. Jessica Ashlyn Sullivan. Erica Wynn Sung. Carson Zachary Sapola. Aditya Suresh. Nabra K. Sutaria. Connor Thomas Sergo. Tiffany M. Tang. Nicholas Paul Tap Hughes. Dwayne Tara. Alyssa Deanna Tyler. Evelyn Rose Taylor. David Alexander Thole. Alexander Boyd Tisdale. Eric Alexander Trollinger. Xiaoxing Si. Khalid Jacob Tino Spencer. Nicholas Bradley Turecki. Adam Chester Turner. Abhinav R. Udayer. Anna Sofia Mendez Yuso. Natasha Suhas Vija. Tia Rachel Villacurry. Amtaj S. Villabahaparam. Nishma Pinakin Vyas. Which name? Siram Vinkat. Sume Vinjayakamar. Raquel Village. Teresa Marie Voiles. Alexander Michael Wade. Laura Amanda Walker. Sophia Louise Walton. Alicia Shinran Wong. Stella Wong. Ashvin R. Warrior. Ayana Nia Webster. Carl Spies Westerndorf. Madison Page Whitmar. Kelly Louise Williams. Michael Glenn Williams. Caleb Lee Willis. Heather Renee Willis. Robert Allen Winslow. Margot Rachel Elizabeth Winter. John J. Wan. Sarah Chingyi Wang. Benjamin Isaac Woodcock. Anthony Leon Woodward. Ethan Ho Wu. Evan Xian Wu. Lucy Wu. Ru Wu. Kenneth Xu. Elizabeth Hutong Yang. Victor Anthony Yax. Claire Yin. Rosemary Victoria Yin. Alan Grayson York. Emily Catherine York. Dupas Yu. Rachel Robinson Zeller. Janelle Yachi Singh. Maggie Shung. Ren Shung. Emily Annie Jing. Kendra Rebecca Zhang. Joshua Dong. Kevin Zhou. Walling Zhou.
So I again want to just take this opportunity to thank Dr. Tweedy and all of our family members and friends of our graduates and faculty and staff, foundation members, board of trustee members, alumni board, parent association, and board of governors members for being here today to honor this year's graduating class, the class of 2017. So it's about time, class of 2017, for you to leave Watts Lawn for the first time as alumni of the North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics. And I hope as you go forward throughout the years to come, you'll remember this opportunity given to you these past 2 years by this great state and through the support of many alumni who have come before you. Remember your responsibility as the 35 classes before you have to ensure that future generations of North Carolinians have the same or even greater opportunities that you've had. It's been a wonderful day and a fantastic 2 years. As you leave NCSSM, remember why you made that bold decision 2 years ago, and take with you your friendships and your memories, your great intellect and passion and curiosity, and your ability and desire to make those around you better than they would have been otherwise. Finally, as we close the day, I'd like to leave you with these thoughts that I hope for you as you remember this journey and embark on the next. Many of you might be familiar with these lines, particularly if you've had a class with Dr. Regalis. From the poem Ithaca. As you set out for Ithaca, hope your road is a long one, full of adventure, full of discovery. Hope your road is a long one. May there be many summer mornings when, with what pleasure, what joy, you enter harbors you're seeing for the first time, and keep always Ithaca on your mind. So again, congratulations, and we will very much miss you. After the ceremony, which is just about over, you are all invited to attend the commencement reception hosted by the NCSSM Parents Association and our junior parents on the Bryan Lawn. So will you now please stand to honor the new graduates of the North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics, the class of 2017, as they recess. Congratulations.